Yeah. There's like I've categorized Mexicans into two shapes: squares and triangles.
What do you mean?
Do you see it? Do you see it?
What do you mean?
Squares and triangles. Mexicans can either be a square or a triangle.
Please explain.
You just look at them and be like, okay, that's a square. Triangle. The best example that I know of is in the movie Coco. The two
Okay.
musicians.
Okay.
The skinny one with the pointy nose, with the
Yeah.
pointy, and then the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a square.
Yeah, he's a square.
Big old box. Yeah.
And there's triangles.
That's so stupid, but accurate.
Yeah. Humans have patterns. You just gotta recognize them.
Yeah, and that fits Mexicans very well.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Oh my gosh. Squares and triangles.
Yeah. How's it going? Common Sense Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show.
Welcome to episode
8.
Yes.
Episode 8 of season 2 of the Common Sense Podcast. My name's Peter.
My name's Adrian.
That's Adrian drinking the water.
Yeah.
How you doing today, Adrian? What's good with you?
Chilling. I think my stomach's acting funky. I don't know what's happening. Oh, I had like several cookies this morning. They're all really crunchy and dry.
Cookies for breakfast is the play. That's the play right there.
It's still in my head. Ignore all this stuff right here. This is just our recording equipment and stuff. They can see it in the video. That's why.
You want to change the angle, or you want to stay with this angle?
Now we're gonna set it up like this.
All right.
Rolling.
You're seeing the behind the scenes of what we do right there. You're seeing our secret $1 million setup, guys.
Yeah.
Ignore the you don't know what type of computer that is. It's a what's that? I'm forgetting the processor. That it's not a Dell, a Linux. That's a Linux computer. I'm gonna throw everybody off by saying incorrect things. It's a Linux computer. We have a 50 mic compatible audio interface. We have
Yes.
we
Don't rob
have
us.
things you can't get at Guitar Center.
We have connections, you know.
We have connections that still charge us double the price of what everything's worth.
Because we're brown.
Yeah. Mexican people don't got it good, so
Yeah.
they want to deport us still.
Everyone's a circle and we're triangles and squares, you know.
Straight up. That's
They hate
it.
them.
They don't like the triangular Mexicans.
Yeah.
Even though I'm more of the square Mexican. Yeah,
Mhm.
I can see what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. But yeah, how you doing today, AJ?
I'm chilling. My stomach's acting a little funky. I'm drinking some water right now. Hopefully it calms down. Yeah.
My stomach too is acting funky, but it's from cheese. I am now lactose intolerant, guys, and it's sad because I love lactose. I love milk and cheese, and I pushed it over the last couple days. During the Super Bowl, my brother made some bomb burgers with some grilled onions. He did it In-N-Out style.
Mm-hmm.
But there was so much cheese on those burgers, and I probably had like 4 of them over the last couple days. And then yesterday night, I had macaroni and cheese to go with it.
That's a lot of cheese.
It was so much cheese, and my stomach is letting me know that
Yeah.
right now. So yeah, I feel you, man. I got the It's not at the Pepto-Bismol level though, so I'm not too bad. I can ward it off with handy dandy water, but
Yeah.
I feel you, Adrian. Today is the sick episode.
Yeah.
This is our flu game for all you
Sick
Michael
and-
Jordan fans.
Sick and scruffy because I didn't shave today.
I ain't shaving today because I don't feel good enough to look good. So
I forgot to shave today. That's why. So if you guys can see the little hairs, forgive me. I don't know. I don't know what you want from me. I'm a man. I'm a man. American man.
if you're looking for pretty people, go to a different podcast because
Yeah.
I
The Pretty
just-
People Podcast. That'd be funny.
yeah, that's a good name. I mean, I think just shaving and getting ready. You guys don't understand like the camera ready stuff that I've been focusing on in my life. I don't like to shave, and I don't like to.
Yeah.
I can't. I hate the fact that I'm gonna need a stylist one day, and I'm gonna need to keep a barber on hand one day. But right now, I don't have the budget for that. So you're gonna get the unshaved Peter today. I don't got hair and makeup.
What parts do you shave? Because you have a full beard all the time. So
I know, but it's dirty right now, man. This is not how I would want to I have walked into work with this before.
Mm-hmm.
But this is usually the day where the boss is like, "Hey, Peter, are you okay?"
Mm.
You know, I subscribe to look good, feel good. I don't know if you know what that means.
Is that a channel or like a?
No, it's like a saying.
Okay.
You look good, you feel good, you perform good.
It's confidence.
Yeah, it's a confidence thing. So I've always been like that. Where like if you see me shaved up and good haircut, I probably feel very good. But when you see me like this, I'm usually sick.
Mm-hmm.
Usually like something's just in the way where it's like I don't care how I look right now.
That's fair.
That's my basic place where I don't care how I look. I don't care how I dress.
Yeah.
But for you guys, I try to dress better.
Not this episode though.
No, I guess I don't care about you this episode. But I got the Carhartt sweater on. Trying to look presentable. Still trying to do a little something to put on for you guys.
I think it's the weather too, because it's all gloomy right now. So they don't really care. They just want to go home and rest
Yeah,
and stay in your blankets. Dude, I ordered a treadmill.
dude, that's sick.
It was pretty steep, but I wanted a treadmill because I don't want to pay for like a gym membership because they're expensive anyway.
No, that's the way to go. A treadmill is perfect.
Yeah, so I got one, and then I'm waiting for it to come. I'm excited to use it. So I got a little table too. So I walk on the treadmill, the table. I'm be editing on it as well. So I exercise while working.
That's nice. Okay, I'm with that. Is it like a Peloton? What type of treadmill is it?
Essentially a Peloton. It's just a little flat slab on the ground. When you walk at it.
Just a fat slab.
Yeah.
The fat slab treadmill. There's a great name. If anybody's an entrepreneur looking to start treadmills. Fat slab.
A fat slab.
No, dude, that's great. I'm glad. I can't wait to see Cut Adrian,
At least, yeah. I'm trying to lose this. I'm trying to lose the belly
He
fat.
thinks he's fat, guys.
The belly fat.
Why do I keep finding these co-hosts who think they're fat? It's craziness. It's craziness.
Nick has body dysmorphia.
We love you, Nick. You're not fat, dude. Ever.
I'm just trying to get some a bit skinnier. I don't like this fat right here. I mean, too
yeah,
much.
skinny people get any pudge and they're like, oh no, I don't know. Yeah, it's
Well, still.
so it comes with it. But yeah, I think health is such a big thing. So I encourage you, man. Go get it. Look good, man. Look good, feel good. Start getting in the gym. You're gonna feel better than ever. And watch all your production quality is gonna go up because you're on the treadmill now.
Yeah, that's true. That's how it works.
That's the hope.
But okay, so we got a few stuff for this episode. I'll start it off. I recently, this was actually a couple weeks ago, I ordered like my first ever like piece of merch from like a YouTuber, because I always thought it's like
cool.
overpriced and just not worth it. Like why would I buy a $30 shirt?
Oh, it's always worth it though. It's always worth it.
When I can go to like the swap meet and buy like a pack of 10 shirts for like $5.
Can you get Ludwig merch at the swap meet?
Probably. I mean, you can find it probably. But like,
dude, if you find it, let me know because that's like a very plugged in swap meet. That'd be dope. They're plugged in.
I imagine it's just like secondhand stuff that people don't want no more. But the merch was specifically from another podcast that was ending that I've been watching for a while now, on and off. But they ended recently, and final merch drop. So I was like, I'll grab it. I'll grab a shirt. And so yeah, it kind of feels good, to have like that.
What was the podcast?
Chuckle Sandwich Podcast.
Chuckle Sandwich. I don't know what that is.
Chuckle Sandwich. It's just a couple of YouTubers. Just it's more comedy centered. They don't talk about like important topics. They just kind of talk for an hour about what random stuff, joking, making jokes.
Oh, that's tight.
Like fans would like say, oh. Schlatt, one of the guys on the show. Schlatt, what advice do you have? My girlfriend dumped me, something like that. And they'll just make fun of him, kind of basically, and then they'll just have fun. But like the podcast ended, and I wanted to grab them like some of the last few pieces of merch.
See, so that $30 shirt is super worth it in that situation.
Yes. What's crazy is it's 12 weeks to deliver, bro. That's insane.
That's the other bad thing of getting merch off YouTube. It's always that type of like long wait for your merch. It's always, you never know what type of ordering method they use. So you don't know if they use Shopify, you're probably gonna get it quick. If they don't, then you're gonna take it like a year to get your merch.
Yeah, that's fun.
At least you didn't get it during Christmas.
That's right. It wasn't available during Christmas. It was like a last minute thing kind of. I don't know, but yeah, that's what happened. That's the piece of merch that I got. Pretty good. I'll wear it on the podcast at some point when I get it.
Oh, you got to, bro. You got to represent. I'm gonna check Chuckle Sandwich out now.
Yeah.
I got to, bro. You put me onto so many things. Yesterday, I was like, I should check out Ludwig, but I got caught up. I was like on a Kendrick Lamar rabbit hole from the Super Bowl halftime show, big old rabbit hole. But I gotta check out these podcasters, Ludwig, Chuckle Sandwich. He told me about Dream. I just gotta check a little bit about Dream, just the craziness, you know.
Yeah.
It's like we tapped in with that stuff. But yeah, that stuff's cool, man. Have you ever been? How many concerts have you been to?
1, 2.
2.
I think
Cooley.
Cooley, and I went to see the AJR in concert.
AJR. Okay, so how much was the merch for AJR over there?
I didn't buy any merch over there.
You didn't even check the merch table?
No. I told you, like, this was my first time buying merch for anyone.
That's amazing. Yeah, as somebody who loves concerts, I think like $30 for a shirt for me feels like a deal. It feels like a deal to me, actually, because I remember when I saw The Weeknd, he had like, you couldn't get a shirt without buying a bundle that was like $100.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't get, if the shirt by itself was $50, just a normal shirt, but it was part of it's because they were trying to sell you the bundle to get like the bag, the hat, all the stuff with it.
Yeah.
So everything individually is overpriced. But if you're a big fan, that concert was fire. So I would have loved some merch that day. But The Weeknd isn't really somebody I'm trying to spend $50 on, to be honest.
That's fair.
But if it was, for instance, a Kendrick Lamar concert, if I could get a shirt for $30, oh yes, I'm good. I'm getting that shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has some of the best looking merch on the market, in my opinion.
Okay, I haven't seen any of his merch, but yeah, I always feel scammed when I buy
It is
any shirt over $30.
it is a scam.
It feels so scammy, bro, and I hate knowing that I'm being scammed and still like going into it because it's like, oh man, I gotta play into the scam.
Yeah, shout out to the homie Kevin at Empire Custom Tees. He knows what's up. Like he has he can print you a shirt with everything on it. I'm working with him right now to get some shirts for my with some of my mixtape covers on it and stuff, and I already know how much it's gonna cost, you know, and I know what the production cost is, and what I can say is the retail price is nowhere near the production price, you know. So that's speaking business terms for all you guys who don't know what retail and production price, the difference.
We need to get common sense shirts. That'd be dope.
Yes, and so that's in the works too. But guaranteed, them shirts gonna be like $30. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna sell them for $30. Me and Adrian could discuss the price.
I'll make a mock-up of it. I already have a vision in mind already. It'd be dope. Right.
Yes. Oh, I love what you did with the thumbnail and everything too.
Although
I love how it looked.
The podcast that's not released yet.
The background and everything.
Well, for them it's the last.
You'll
podcast.
See it soon.
No, they've already seen it. This is.
Then comment if you like it or not, whether we should go back to gray or keep the blue. But I
really. Oh, you mean that? They meant the okay. I'm gonna talk to my dad.
Go ahead.
All right.
He hung up on you. But yeah, I like the setup of everything. Picture. Yeah, the profile picture, the banner, the blue. The blue set makes it look so much more inviting.
Yeah.
The gray look kind of like ooh. Ooh, what are they gonna like? Super intense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that setup, and I trust whatever design's gonna come with the merch. Like whatever ideas you got, let's spitball that. I would love to know.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Because I do want the podcast pup shirts and the we got.
That'd be dope. We'll save up to get some merch for you guys. You can order it online as well. We'll just have them order it. They can pay for it themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have, and that's what I've been talking about with Kevin. But that's why it's funny that you brought up it's a scam when you spend that much on a shirt. You know, like I really like good clothes. I don't know how. Do you have like brands you like to buy or anything like that?
No, I don't. I don't buy clothes. That's why. So like me buying
this.
This was a gift that I got. So
right.
I'm just wearing it because I have it. Like I don't buy clothes, and then so that's why buying the merch for the one podcast like was a big deal because I don't buy clothes. I've never really bought clothes. The last piece of clothing I got, other than that, was like this coat, this big brown coat. You saw it in the passenger seat probably.
Yeah.
My dad got me that for Christmas.
Oh yeah.
So everything. No, actually, I bought socks. I bought socks one time because I was on socks.
Yeah. You bought socks. How much were the socks?
Pretty cheap. It's like I don't know,
$5 for like 12.
maybe 12.
Yep.
It was at
12 for 12?
Walmart. I just needed socks so bad. So
Yeah, I love like wearing polos and stuff. I love dress shirts. So like it, but if you get like a Ralph Lauren shirt, man, like it, you start getting polo, uh, yeah, like the really top notch like A87 and stuff like that, like the good looking ones. They can get stupid, man. 50.
Yeah.
You're talking about like $50 shirts, $60 shirts now. And I don't know. It's worth it to look good, but you have made me ponder like how good do I want to look?
is it worth it in the first place?
To be broke but be wearing a $60 shirt.
Yeah.
Is that worth it?
I think,
That I ponder that now. Ponder my life decisions.
I doubt that I'll ever be like someone who's like who cares too much about the fashion that they have. You won't see me catching like wearing like $100 coat. You know what I mean? Like out in public. Trying to be stylish. I'll be like just a regular shirt and pants, just walking around, like nothing crazy. I don't ever care for fashion.
What if people offer you nice clothes?
I'll take it. Free clothes, free nice clothes. Hey, I'll wear it, bro.
Okay.
I'm chill with that. But
Okay.
like, I won't go out of my way to buy a Gucci something. Nah.
You out there in Common Sense Land, please hook up Adrian with some beautiful clothes. Anybody out there, any designer stuff,
It'd be so
hook our
funny.
boy up.
I would love to just print fake Supreme clothing and then just wear it around. I'd be so
Giving
down to
away.
do that for a brand.
I'm down for that too. Actually, I'm not against that.
A
That's
photo shoot, but it's like us walking down the street, like someone like a paparazzi kind of thing, like pointing at the camera at us. We're always like down the street walking by.
yeah.
We have like whatever cups in hand, and that's like just Supreme right here.
I'm
With shades right here.
No, I'm with it. That's actually really cool. And
That's
it's
so funny.
Yes, actually, let's do that. Fake Supreme. Yeah. Gosh, that was too big of my time. That brand takes me all the way back to high school with the people. Didn't like that style.
That was
much.
really.
No hate on you, Supreme. It's not you. It's the people wearing the clothes.
We passed by that Supreme store over there in LA.
Yeah, it's skaters. Like people who skate and stuff are gonna have a lot of Supreme. I don't have a problem with them. It's the people who don't skate but wear all that Supreme. I'm like,
Supreme really like a skateboard brand, I guess.
I mean, that's just what I saw. It wasn't just a skateboard brand. It became a whole big fashion brand around I would say like 2012, 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, between 2012 and 2016. People just loved those to look like a highlighter, in my opinion. It never appealed to me. But yeah, if people were wearing it, I assume they skate. But if you didn't skate and wear it, I always found it weird. That's just me personally.
It's just fashion. Who cares?
People could wear what they want. I love
Yeah.
DC shoes and I don't skate at all.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all about how you rock it.
Okay. Yeah, you have another topic you want to move on to, or
Yeah, I got something I want to talk about.
okay?
So the mission statement of common sense has always been you find God when you find common sense. And I think in most recent episodes we haven't really talked about God, haven't really talked about Jesus, haven't really talked about too many biblical topics, but that's always been something I wanted to do with this podcast, So for all you who aren't Christian, I just want to really lean into an aspect of the Bible that's super big, and it's around forgiveness. I think forgiveness is such a big topic as far as like what that means for others and what that means like person to person. If you ask them like what it would take to forgive somebody, I think you'd get so many different answers. Like what do you think, Adrian?
Yeah, you'd probably get like, oh, they need to apologize to me first, something like that. For me, again, I've had my own problems with forgiveness. Like I still got like stuff going on with myself that I need to work on. From what I know and from what I can see is that people, it's always like a pride issue. And
Right.
and again, I'm speaking from personal experience. I have my own problems with the forgiveness as well. Like,
No, that's one of my big problems with forgiveness as
yeah.
well.
It's a pride issue because it's about they need to they need to apologize, when really forgiveness is for yourself. It's never for someone. I mean, it's for someone else in the sense that like it makes them feel better, but it's also for yourself because you're not harboring that hatred or that anger towards the other person. It's about allowing yourself to let go of the situation so it doesn't continue to eat you alive.
That's beautiful. Yeah, forgiveness is for yourself. I think that's kind of why I want to touch on it, and I have things in my life where like I've been challenged with forgiveness. There's some people out there right now who I don't even want to be in the same room as them. And that's always left me at a crossroads as somebody who claims Christianity and claims to be a Christian, because I should be very benevolent with the way I forgive people, just freely giving forgiveness, because that's what God does. In Colossians 3:13, it says, "Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you." And I think that is an interesting thing that Adrian brings up, just pointing out how forgiveness is for you. And then right here in the Bible, it says, "Forgive as the Lord forgave you." So at some point, forgiveness doesn't really become about other people. It becomes something internal. It becomes about something in the heart. And I just think that it's an interesting thing how the people I don't want to be in a room with affect me right now. How like sometimes I lay awake at night thinking about the grudges I have, and I think it's not something unique. I hear it all the time from people, and thank you, Adrian, for being open about that. That like forgiveness isn't something easy for you either, and it's something that this is why I want to touch on it, because when we get down to what the Bible says about it, it's forgive as the Lord forgave you. And I don't think a lot of people see it as like, yeah, now you have a problem with God because you're not forgiving as you were forgiven.
Yeah.
And now there's a direct X on you, a direct mark on you,
Yeah. It goes back to you'll be measured by the same way you measure others.
Mm-hmm.
That to me, it speaking from my own personal experiences and my own problems, again, I still have them. Like it calls me out in a sense when I when I start judging people. You know what I mean? When I start like trying to like be like, oh, they're lesser or they're this, they're that. When it's like, okay, Agent, what do you got, bro? Don't be lying to yourself, like that kind of thing. So it reminds me to like stay level headed as best I can.
Yeah, and that's why like I'm trying to be honest with you guys about like how my lack of forgiveness is affecting me in negative ways. Just like I hate thinking of other people in a negative way, and I'm just watching TV. Like I don't like that. I don't like having grudges, man. I'm 31 now, so like I can feel more of like resentment. Like words like that didn't register with me when I was younger, because when you're young, you don't have resentment. You don't have regrets. You don't really have anything like that because you don't have that much life experience. 20 years on Earth is such a small time when you just think of what 2024 was like, Yeah. 2024 had so many things happen. Yeah. So if you just think about from the year you were born to where you're at now, there's so much things that happen in your lifetime that can get, like it doesn't even register in your head how much stuff you've actually seen.
Yeah.
So now when it comes down to people wronging you, there's a whole list of people who wronged you. Mm-hmm. Now when it comes down to people who don't like you, there's probably a whole list of people who don't like you. Mm-hmm. But these things start to, I think that concept of forgive as the Lord forgave you, it's because these things add up and God sees it all.
Yeah.
God recognizes even the things that you're not registering in your brain, God still recognizes. He could still see those things.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to like, for all you guys who are probably struggling for forgiveness out there too, there's probably little moods you have where it like ruins your day. There's probably the idea of seeing somebody where you're like, I hope I don't see this person in public because it's on site. That term, everybody loves the term on site. Yeah. I hate how people overuse it because on site means something totally different.
I think they know what it means. But they don't. It's like an empty threat. That's what
On site is not an empty threat.
The word itself is not an empty threat, but like when people say that, when it's on site with you, like when I see you, then I'm like, oh, it's that guy, I guess. But it's like,
right.
Yeah, that's what they mean. They're not
like,
gonna do anything.
If it's on site, you're just talking mess to one another. Then I think that's as you said, it's empty.
Yeah.
But from where I grew up, and I've seen people like literally be on site. Mm-hmm. Where it's like it's fighting out of nowhere. It goes from peace to instant hands.
Yeah.
And so that's why I take those threats seriously. Like when people say it's on site, that's why it's funny. It's become so hyperbolic with like two people having internet beef who've never actually met each other.
Yeah.
Like it's not on site, bro. You guys aren't gonna really fight.
That's funny. It reminds me of one thing that I saw on the internet where it's like, oh, Conor McGregor is such a trash. Have you seen that? Conor McGregor is such a trash fighter, and then Connor replies, and he's like, "Oh yeah, why don't you say that to my face?" And the guy's like, "No, you would beat me up. No, I would not say that to your face."
And Connor has a history of being on site. Connor's a real person who is on site, and that's why it's an interesting thing. But to get back to the whole terms of forgiveness, when you're the type of person who's now trying to fight somebody just from looking at them, you got to really question your own character. You got to turn it back on yourself. It's like, why do you carry that with you? Why do you carry that type of anger? Like the things that come along with wanting to fight any second, it's like you're angry, you're paranoid, you're violent. Like, why do you hold that on your shoulders? And that's what God's trying to free you from when it says, forgive as the Lord forgave you. When you're living in Christ, one of the hardest things for me to take in from the character of Christ, of Jesus Christ, is that he turned the other cheek when he was smacked. I cannot imagine turning the other cheek when getting smacked. There was a time when a relative of mine punched me in the chest because he was drunk, like socked me hard, and I heard the thump in my chest. And I didn't hit him back because at the time I was like doing well spiritually. But in my head, I was like, hey, Jesus turned the other cheek. Jesus was beaten and didn't strike back. Like in my head, that helped me like stay spiritual and not retaliate.
Sorry, for those who don't know what he's turning the other cheek means, he's not saying like ignore whatever if there's like injustice, but it's saying turn the cheek when like when you get slapped, offer the other cheek to that person that slapped you, in a sense, just to clarify, because some people might not know.
Right. We'll throw the scripture up on the screen for you.
Yeah.
But it's I think that's the craziest thing is when you offer your cheek to somebody, how I think they're going to be challenged in that. When you give love rather than give back the energy people are giving to you, it's one of the most like psychologically confusing things people can go through. Mm-hmm. Like it throws people off when people are yelling in your face, but you meet them with calmness. It's only going to make them like have to embrace those feelings that are trapping them. Those things that when the Bible says forgive as the Lord forgave you, when you've been forgiven, you're very free. That feeling of being forgiven, really like a whole weight's been taken off your shoulders. Like your back starts cracking just out of relief. Like when you're no longer consumed by things, that forgiveness gives you a whole new way to walk. And when people are trying to meet you with hostility, when you don't meet it with hostility, but rather you meet it with love, there's something that happens to that person where they're actively now trying to like fight with themselves. They're yelling more because they want to yell. They're fighting more because they don't have an adversary, so they need to fight more. And those things these are the things that forgiveness gives you. It gives you the ability to like look at somebody and really empathize better. It gives you the ability to put down your own anger, your own frustration, and get into the place where it's like, I want to bring some healing to the situation. With all those people who I'm frustrated with, believe me in my heart, I'm so sorry that I can't look you in the face. I hate that you have so much control over me. And I'm really trying to work to the place where it's like I can go eat with you again, because it's like a lot of close family members that I'm really thinking about right now. Mm-hmm. But like I really do want to forgive you today. It's just that within me I have my own struggles. Like if you really know me, I'm an angry person. For my church friends, they're probably shocked. Like, oh, Peter's angry? They probably never seen me angry like that. But it's been tough, living in Christ has been a necessary thing for me, because I have a whole history of being angry, of being violent. And I think God has really like removed so much of that from my life, where now I have an image of people who are like, they could never imagine me yelling, never could imagine me fighting. And now I'm trying to balance that at 31, because I do have the little things that are tough to forgive in life. But I acknowledge that the Lord has forgiven me of so much. And for you guys out there who are the family members who control me right now, just know I still love you. It's just on sight. That's all it is.
Just on sight. I love you, but you're gonna die. I'm just saying. Don't come to my house, okay?
Yeah, let's skip
I
Thanksgiving.
love you from a distance. How about that?
Love you for that's actually one of the things that I've been trying to practice. Loving from a distance.
Hmm. And there's a fair argument to be made where it's like, okay, if someone's actively trying to hurt you, then you don't gotta be in the room with them. Like you can leave. Like,
Yeah.
you know, as a from a forgiveness standpoint, you let it go. Again, that's a hard thing to say because people don't want
Letting
to
it go.
listen. Because people don't want to hear that. But again, there's that aspect of it's for yourself and not for them. You know what I mean?
Right.
If they're gonna keep fighting you, then your forgiveness means nothing, right?
Right.
And it just becomes their problem now. Like if someone's arguing with you, you can be like, okay, you win, whatever, do your thing, bye bye, and then, but then when they see you again, they're like, okay, what do you think about now? And it's like I don't want to deal with this no more. Like you, shoo, I'm good with it, bro. Leave me alone. There's that, and then people, they're left to their own devices, and you are left to be free from that kind of that kind of headache, really.
All that stuff does is give you headaches. That's letting it go, man. I think there's something spiritual in that. It's so simple. And I think that's where like the middle ground of it is. That's where we find God right there. Is God really just lets it go. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. He lets it go. And that's a deeper thing when we start talking about the cross and Jesus sacrificing his life. But God lets all that go.
Hmm.
And that's a concept that I think keeps people away from Christianity because they can't let it go.
I think it's also I've heard people like who are aware of that concept in Christianity, but like they think, oh, that person wronged me. How can God forgive them? You know what I mean? Like, that's not fair.
How can God let it go? And that's why he's God and you're not. It's because God can let it go, but we cannot in our nature.
I'm someone in the boat where it's like, even though he does forgive, I think he still allows justice to happen either in this life or the next. So you don't get off scot free,
Never.
but there is like a nuance to it. Like that person that wronged you, may be forgiven, but they're not just free. They're not just like, get a jail free card. It's a matter of, okay, now they need to pay their dues in a sense where it's like, okay, they need to go back to you and ask for forgiveness and show remorse and things like that. Again, it's everyone's own journey. Things may or may not happen. I can't tell you what's going to happen, but God is still just in that sense. And I trust that entirely with my being, that he is just, but also forgiving. And that's what I love about him. Like one of the things I love about him the most.
Yeah, and I think something that comes right, like you don't get off scot free by just letting it go. It's that humility to stand in front of somebody and be like, I was wrong.
Yeah.
You have to then turn around and try to befriend that person. That's what the true practice of being like Christ is. Because when he turned the other cheek, it wasn't just to be struck, but it was to try to help them release their anger, like get out of it. When he allowed people to crucify him and put him on the cross and kill him, it was him showing them, like showing the Pharisees, showing all those who were like very hypocritical in their spiritual stances, showing them like this is the true hate you have towards God.
Yeah.
And that's something that we can all continue to look at. Before you get to the point of letting it go, you have to face all those things inside you that are ugly.
But God helps you. God will be there every step of the way.
God will let you know, I'll let that go too.
Mm-hmm.
God is there to be the scripture before it says, therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. When it's on site, there's no gentleness. Like when it's a heated argument, gentleness goes out the window. Empathy goes out the window. And these are all things that biblically speaking, they're trying to get us to live in. They're trying to get us to live in a gentle state so that we can always get back to forgiveness. If we're away from that state, we can't. It's going to be harder to get there. To be in a state of humility, to be able to admit that you were wrong, to be able to look in the mirror and be like, you are an angry person. You need to stop being so angry.
And it's also a matter of, you shouldn't expect others to do that for you.
And you can't expect, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a great thing.
So while it may be good for someone, it may be good for someone to be like, hey, I'm sorry. I was wrong. You're right. The other person shouldn't be like, yeah, I'm right. Yeah, that's it. You should be like, hey, all good. It's all good. You even have to say a word. I already forgave you. Like, it should be like that kind of relationship, but people don't want to do that, And again, this is a human experience. People go through this all the time.
Right.
So it's just a matter of being smart about it, being nuanced with how you live your life. Forgiving others and being humble enough to ask for forgiveness is important.
Amen. And I'm hoping for all you guys out there who aren't Christian or aren't part of any sort of religious faith, is that you can just see that there's a freeing at a logical level that comes with just letting things go.
Yeah.
Just being able to forgive somebody. It's what was that thing that what's the poison you take?
When you drink poison expecting someone else to
Right.
die.
And that's what a lack of forgiveness is.
Yeah.
A lack of forgiveness is that poison. So like at a logical level, you'll see it go. A little practice I would have for our audience, just write down somebody who you have a grudge against right now. Write down their name on a piece of paper and then throw it away and say, I forgive them of everything. Just say it in your head. See if you can even do it. I can already imagine how many people are snickering just at doing that. That's something that I've had to use, little things like that I've had to use psychologically so I could see the name there, crumple it up to be like, you know what, that there's no more anger towards them, and letting it go, burning it, getting rid of it. That's such just that little practice will already challenge you. Just that little practice will show you where you're at in your own heart. And then once you get there, once you can see logically that you have a grudge, you can see logically that you have some hatred, right there is the moment of freedom, the moment before freedom is coming. So I just want to encourage you guys, be filled with forgiveness. It's only beautiful. It's only good for the world.
Amen.
So yeah, that's where I could wrap that up there.
Cool.
You got anything else you want to talk about?
I think we're good for now. I think, yeah, we wanted to, because again, this podcast was, started in a Christian sense. We want to again, we're 30, 40 years old, and I'm like 19, but
50.
We do start, this podcast was started on like a Christian foundation in a sense, where we just wanted to dive into biblical concepts. We haven't done that for a while, and we've been thinking about it. So I'm glad that Peter brought this up today. We'll do more like this in the future. So stay tuned, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the reason just to tie it into why we do so much entertainment, it's not just because, people want to talk about this, but it's because, logically, just from a place of being human, we do want to be a place where the middle ground's for everyone. And what's been amazing about learning about the things Adrian likes to do through his streaming and stuff is there's a whole audience of people who I'm not even a part of, who I never even consider. And there's so much more out there where sometimes we can feel in our narrow scope of the world that we know it all. But then we can see where the bridge in entertainment can bridge so much of the people who you've never considered being like you, being passionate about things. They have all these beliefs that you have, that you both share. And so that's what I've learned through Minecraft. I don't even like that game, but so many of my friends love Minecraft. So many of the younger generation that I find myself always being why are they so different? And it's because of the type of games they play, the type of things they take in, through sports. The reason I share about sports is in one of our earlier episodes, Adrian shared how he believes sports had no narrative. But for anybody who's a sports fan, this thing's a soap opera, man. All professional sports is narratives and stories, and that's what connects us to the game so much and makes it a universal thing. Again, the Dodgers, we're still high on that in LA. You can go anywhere and talk about Freddie Freeman, and people love that guy. So there's a bridge in entertainment that's very spiritual. It's untangible, but it connects us all. And we can find that middle ground to stop hating on one another. We can find that place to where we can all talk about these concepts that through Sonic, Sonic talks about friendship.
Yeah.
These concepts that all of us have a understanding of, but now through this medium, we can all come together and really grasp it. So that's why we're going to keep talking about entertainment things. We're going to keep talking about, Marvel. Marvel's bouncing back, I'm hoping. I'm gonna keep talking about video games with Adrian because he loves video games and I love video games. I'm gonna keep talking about sports. I'm gonna keep talking about all these different things, and my hope is that you guys join us for the conversation. You know, we don't do this just to talk to ourselves, but it's been fun to just talk to Adrian. You know, it's awesome, and but for all you guys who approach and are like actively watching, actively looking at our episodes, actively tapping in, the homie Brandon who corrected me about Lobo the other day, I thank you for that. You know, we want to build this community of common sense that's not, you know, Adrian pointed out that Republicans, right wings are trying to take the term, you know, but we're not a political podcast. You know, we are not that at all. And we just want to build that middle ground so all of us can come to it and have a community here where when you come to it, you can be free with what you want to say. And, you know, the hope is some of you find God, but I believe you're going to find some friendships. You're going to find some aha moments when you come to the Common Sense podcast, you know? So little rant on the mission statement.
That's good. Yeah, it's good. It's good to refresh like what we're actually trying to be about. And we'll work on that. But okay, I got some other stuff that I want to talk about as well. So this couple days ago, this is more hate stuff I got.
Segue.
A couple of days ago, I discovered this YouTube channel, and they're promoting their new game that they're making. Right, it's a little game company that made a YouTube channel. The game is called, and now I'm gonna say this, it's like those games that you saw on my stream that one day. It's like Poppy Playtime, if you know that game. It's like it's supposed to be like a horror game, but like using like cartoon characters, like mascots, like Five Nights at Freddy's. If you know all that stuff, then this is another variation of that concept. Now, the whole gimmick of it is like it's like the early 2000s, right? You know, and you're gonna go into like this store, you know, it's like where like a Chuck E. Cheese might be, but the logo is you walk in, it's like a little playground, whatever, and like the concept is like, you know, you're in this place and it's like a horror game, it's creepy, it's like I guess, and you know, you do whatever, it's a new game, so I don't know exactly, but they said it's supposed to be based around the early 2000s theme. The problem that I have with it is that almost none of it like reminds me of early 2000s. The only thing that they use is like, you know, VHS kind of like camcorder type quality of the video, like for the trailer. And it pisses me off so much. Like as an artist, as someone who has in my own art, like in the past, I try to emulate like the media that I'm trying to replicate. Like I do my best to stay true to the media that I'm trying to replicate. Like I've drawn comics about Balloons Tower Defense, the game with the monkeys throwing darts at balloons.
You can draw?
Yes. Anyway,
we gotta see that, bro. You got a lot of talent.
I've drawn, it's like like a couple like pages or two, but like mini comics of like a game, and I did my best to recreate their style and the feel and like be true to the media that I'm trying to replicate. And so if I'm saying I'm gonna draw a comic in this style, I'm gonna stay true to that style.
That's right.
This game doesn't do that. The characters don't feel like they're from the early 2000s, like a Chuck E. Cheese, this whatever place. It's just they feel like just normal characters that someone would draw today. Like they're all like kids, like not kids, but like all the developers are super young, like 20s, maybe like from 15 to like 20. They look all that like that age. So it makes sense that they would draw in that style. But again, and they're not too, I don't think they're too aware of like what the problem is, because they're just trying to make a fun game. I respect that. I can't develop games. I really wish I could. I want to do something in the future like that. I can't do it personally. But when you say you're trying to make a style, you're trying to stylize your video game based on the early 2000s, do more research, please. It pissed me off so much seeing like their 2D art, the 3D art, and none of it just felt early 2000s. Just none of it. Like, it just felt like a regular game that with the camcorder strapped onto it, you know, like wow, guys. I don't want to hate you guys. Like, you guys are doing something super cool that I wish I could do myself, but I can't. But as a critic, as someone who can do art personally, again, not professional art, I just draw pictures sometimes, but I know like the vision. You guys don't have that vision. Ooh. You guys are not doing that vision. I respect it. I wish the best for you guys, but damn, it's not there, brother. Ooh. It's not there. I don't know how to say it without being so hateful or like so demeaning, but it's like you guys just didn't do what you said you're gonna do. Ooh. You know what I mean?
Ooh, man.
And I feel bad about that. I truly do. But come on, I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
Go get him, Adrian. Give me a second. I gotta use the restroom.
Okay. But yeah.
I have never seen you that fired up so far. I can't recall which episode you've been that fired up about anything.
There was one thing, I guess. It was. Remember, there was a.
I think the first or second episode. Yes, I do recall. I just have to go back and watch it, watch the footage. But yeah, fired up Adrian is. Yeah, let's get more of that.
I haven't been that demeaning at all, though. That's my first. That's the most I've been like demeaning.
No, that's beautiful, man. I share your heart with the, like when people do timepieces, like, just come on, man, like study up a little. We're back.
We back. I already did the intro.
What's up? How y'all doing?
And the splice there.
As we move on, I'd like to talk about my top 10 cartoons, because this caused a lot of ruckus amongst the homies.
Okay.
Namely, the homie Dom had a big issue with my top 10, but it's because I stand by it. That's all it is. I mean what I say. And so I want to give my top 10 cartoons right now, and you can tell me what you think about it. Y'all can tell me what you think about it too. This is Peter's top 10 cartoons on the Common Sense podcast.
And a little input from Adrian.
With a little hate from Adrian, maybe. We'll see. I don't think he's going to hate it. All right. Number 10, Rocket Power.
Never heard of that. Whoa.
Man, I'm old then. It's a great show. It's about some kids who skate and do extreme sports. It's freaking amazing. Nickelodeon, one of Nickelodeon's best shows.
Okay.
Easily. So Rocket Power, number 10. Number 9, Jackie Chan Adventures.
That's crazy.
Because I love that show. Uncle is so awesome. I don't know if you've ever seen that, Adrian.
I've never seen that show.
You're a young guy. Yeah. You got some studying to do, man.
I got my own shows.
Jackie Chan's Adventures, pretty good. Really great show. Kooky show. When you think of Jackie Chan running around chasing down enchanted talismans.
Okay.
It's very like, what? It was awesome. The best part was his old uncle who used to smack him in the middle of the head. Say one more thing. Pah. Okay. Always smack him with these 2 fingers. I don't know how that hurts, but he always did it. Made it look painful.
It's a cartoon. It's good. Yeah, it's like big animated fingers, you know, bah, like a whip.
It was amazing. So Uncle, shout out Uncle, one of the best parts of that show. Number 8, Adventure Time. I love Adventure Time with a passion. I actually saw the last episode a few weeks back. Have you ever seen how that show ends?
I did see the ending of the show. I didn't grow up with it though. Like we didn't have a Cartoon Network as a kid, so I never watched the show. But I've seen episodes and I've seen like the meme culture and all that stuff. But like growing up, never on TV because we don't have a channel.
The show ends so weird. It's crazy. It's like everybody's dead. It's so grim.
Yeah, but it's already back though. They have like 3 spin-offs where every character comes back at this point.
Oh, I haven't seen the spin-offs.
There's a ton of spin-offs or some episodes of like there's like a BMO show where everybody basically comes back and you're more adventures, I guess, basically.
Oh, that is really cool. I gotta check that.
And even like to the point where like Finn's an old man and Jake's already passed, at that point. But that's like we all know everyone's gonna die at some point.
Oh yeah,
in our lives.
And Adventure Time doesn't stray away from that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the last episode ends with like it's like their descendants in the future finding BMO.
Yeah.
And BMO's telling them the story of the last war between Princess Bubblegum and her uncle.
Yeah.
And that's where the show ends. It's like such a crazy, it's so mind-bending because the very episode prior to that, it's not like everyone's still alive. So like Adventure Time just has a weird consistency issue.
Yeah.
But a continuity issue. But I really love the heart behind the show. And how hilarious it is. Lemon Drop is one of the funniest characters ever made. The giant lemon that just goes, oh!
Yeah.
I love that guy. And he's just like a side character. So Adventure Time's super awesome. And I think it's too weird for the older generation, so people older than me. But it's just right for my age and below. I feel like all the younger generations will feel like Adventure Time as well. But we'll see as I get older how that prediction turns out. Maybe not. Number 7, Invader Zim. You haven't seen that either,
I
have
have
you?
seen
AJ?
the show. Like as a kid, I did watch that show as a kid.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it.
I freaking love Gurr.
Yeah.
Gurr is so excellent. I always think of the episode where he's going do 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 do. Oh
Oh,
no,
yeah.
where he takes over the house.
Yeah.
And then I'm forgetting the name of the dude who's always trying to find Zim. He's in the elevator, and Gurr's like controlling the elevator, and Gurr tells him, "Do a little dance."
Oh, yeah.
He's like, "I don't want to do a little dance," and then he does a little dance, and then Gurr like hyper speeds the elevator. It's amazing.
Oh wow.
I love it. Absolutely love Invader Zim.
See the movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
it's everything about Invader Zim is pretty fire,
Okay.
in my opinion, and
Good
it's
job.
like the perfect amount of like dark and humor. Everything's perfect for it. My mom saw the episode where Zim is like addicted to eating everybody's organs,
Mm-hmm.
and he gets all fat and like he's chewing on like everybody's like entrails and stuff. It's a really nasty part now that I think of it. But she saw that one episode and never watched Invader Zim again.
That's funny.
She was like, I'll never. But me, my brother, and sister were all laughing and cracking up at it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, man,
Violence and cartoons.
Crazy. crazy. It wasn't even violent. That was the weird thing. It was just nasty. It was
Gory.
disgusting. Very gory.
Yeah.
But still light compared to a lot of some other things that people watch.
Yeah.
But number 7 was Invader Zim. Number 6, Justice League Unlimited.
Okay.
And I recommend this to every child and adult. I was watching it with one of my nephews walking by to see if it catch his eye, and he got hooked on it right away. So Justice League is just a timeless show, in my opinion. If you love Batman, Superman, all the DC heroes, and you've never seen Justice League Unlimited, I got the right thing you need in your life. You need that show so badly. So number 6 was Justice League Unlimited.
Okay.
Can't get enough of that show. It still holds up today too. Have you seen it?
I've never seen any except for one like superhero show. Superhero shows they never caught my eye. I wasn't big into them. I told you this before. Like I'm not big into superheroes
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. What was the one superhero show that caught your eye?
Teen Titans.
Of course.
Is it on the list? I'd be so sad.
Don't spoil my list, bro.
Okay. Yeah, that's easily top 5 probably.
It's
for me.
number 3, but
Okay.
I'm on number 6. Number 5 right
Okay.
now. Ninja Turtles.
Which one?
The original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from
There's like
the
several.
90s. The original cartoon. The cartoon you probably definitely never seen.
There's like 4 or 5 different iterations at this point. So
There's a ton of spin-offs, modern day spin-offs that
Mhm.
I actually like as well.
Mhm.
That's why I like Ninja Turtles. It's been something that all generations love, I think. I
Yeah.
talk to older people, they love it. I talk to younger people, they love it. And it's also just like some of the best characters ever written, in my opinion. And they're just turtles with masks on. Like, so wild. But they have such distinct characteristics between Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello that it's crazy. Like, that you're so invested in like this kooky story about turtles with swords.
yeah.
Like, it's wild. But you get invested. And even as far as like the hip hop head in me, like there's constant allusions to Ninja Turtles and Shredder, Master Splinter,
Yeah.
all these different rappers. They use the Ninja Turtles as the basis of what they're rapping about, or the bars they're creating. Ninja Turtles is like a driving force in pop culture, and still to this day, in my opinion. I don't know about the influence it has modern day too much over everything, but when you meet people who really like cartoons, who really enjoy comics, who really enjoy superheroes, who really enjoy martial arts, they always love Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles has a wide audience.
Have you read the Ninja Turtle comics?
The Last Ronin?
Yeah. See
Oh
that?
yeah, I'm hyped
Read
for it. The animation's coming out soon.
Oh yeah.
There's a whole animated the whole movie's gonna come out on it, and I can't wait for The Last Ronin. If you really like the Ninja Turtles for the childlike humor and the childlike nature of it, then don't read The Last Ronin. If you like dark, gritty comic books,
Like innocent, like turned like, dark and brooding, you know what I mean? Like for one example would be like Rick Grimes from the Walking Dead series. Like he's like a good like cop dude, but then he turns dark and gritty. That's like the the plot of The Last Ronin in a sense, vaguely.
I don't even want to give away anything of what happens in The Last
Yeah,
Ronin,
no,
really.
you cannot spoil
Because
that.
if you go read it, you're gonna love it. That's one of my favorite Ninja Turtle stories, and it's needed for every Ninja Turtle fan. So go read The Last Ronin if you're a real Ninja Turtle fan out there, unless you don't like dark comics and stuff.
Yeah.
Then I recommend you ignore it. All that stuff gonna be cool.
What? No, that's fine.
No
Watch, look.
background noise, not even affecting it, man. That's crazy.
Mhm.
And now it's gone. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Moving on. Number 4. So my top number 5 was Ninja Turtles.
Wait,
Number
also,
4.
My favorite Ninja Turtles might be the 3D animated one. Remember that one?
Yeah, the
'Cause,
one
like,
that
I grew up
recently
with that
came out.
one. No, not that one. 3D animated one. On Nickelodeon. Not the movie, but
Oh, the series.
the series. Yeah.
That was a great. Yeah, I love that series.
That would not be my top 5, maybe top 10, but it's like, yeah. But that's the one I grew up on mostly, so I'm more familiar with those guys. But the new movie is really good. I like that one.
The new movie is awesome.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite turtle?
It's hard. It's hard to
That's
pick.
right. I pick Leonardo every time.
So
You got the coolest weapons.
I'm either Leo, Mikey, or Don. No, not Donnie. Leo or Mikey mostly. Donnie's like a close second behind.
Raphael
Leo.
gets on my nerves, in all honesty.
Raphael's cool, but like it's just the anchor. But I don't relate to him too much.
Yeah, he's like Batman Ninja Turtle or something. It's
I see him more as like the older brother of all of them that has to deal with like the anger issues, whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big Leonardo guy, so yeah, that's dope. That you're a Leonardo guy too.
And Mikey's fun too.
Mikey's awesome. Mikey's he's the coolest one of all of them. I like Leonardo because of his leadership stance. Like it's always dope that he's like the one like really that they all fall behind in the end.
That's what I didn't like about the anime Ninja Turtles. You see that one? The newest 3D, not 3D, the newest 2D on Nickelodeon, 2D animated one. It's after the 3D one on the 3D series. It's a new one.
I'm
New
not
generation.
familiar with that iteration.
They made Raphael the leader in that one. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it throws off the. Now they're just gonna be crazy if he's the leader though.
well, the series already ended because it wasn't that good. But they made a movie where it was Leonardo becoming the leader.
Okay,
So that kind of redeems it.
then you ruined the series, I guess.
But like,
You destroy the dynamic of the characters.
and their weapons are all different. Leo's
Oh, they messed up. Yeah, they ruined the show.
Mikey does not have the ninja. He has like a yo-yo with the spikes on it.
Oh yeah, they ruined that show badly.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow, that was a misstep. I don't even want to know. I'm glad I don't know what that is. I won't even look at it now. All right, number 5, Ninja Turtles, but not that version. Number 4, Pokemon. Now, when I say Pokemon, I do mean because Pokemon has so many iterations of it, right? One of my favorite games is on GameCube, where it's like the dark Pokemon. I'm even forgetting the name of it, but it was so dope to see that dark twist on Pokemon. One of my favorite animated movies is Pokemon 2000. It's hard not to cry when Ash gets turned into stone. I absolutely love Pikachu. I absolutely love Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle. The original Pokemon right there, the original set. I love those guys. Like the character design is iconic on all of them. Sonic 3, they call Tails a Pokemon because he does resemble a Pokemon. So like the design of these little monsters is so iconic in my opinion. And it's really something that a lot of shows tried to replicate. Looking at you, Digimon. Tried to be like them, but I don't think anybody can copy Pokemon. I don't think you can outdo it.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I never watched Pokemon as a kid because I didn't watch anime.
You poor soul.
No, I'm happy with that. I'm good.
You
I'm
poor
Gucci.
soul. Pokemon is the one that should. That's a standard. I think that's as far as if you love cartoons like that. If you're not a big cartoon fan, then hey man. But if you like cartoons, I think Pokemon is like the story of Ash and everything is so good. Team Rocket, all the gym leaders, everything about it is just awesome. The way they show you the new characters and stuff, all the way even to where Lugia comes into play and the legendary Pokemon Entei. Oh, it's a beautiful universe. It's a very beautiful universe. And yeah, iconic is definitely a word to describe just the series in general. Because I don't think I don't think you get the pocket monsters the way people try to match it, try to make it look without Pokemon. Pokemon is like the perfection of that style. So that's just my opinion. You guys can leave in the comments any other pocket monsters you like.
I like the movie though, Detective Pikachu. That was awesome.
Detective Pikachu goes hard.
I like the concept of pocket monsters. I think Pokemon for me is too just mainstream, I guess. Too inflated for me. I want like something more cooler, I guess, for me.
Oh, at this point it is inflated. I get where you're coming from. I grew up when Pokemon was new.
Yeah.
When Pokemon was like just made.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
At one point that is what turned me away from following there's so many series of Pokemon. I think the last time I was super into Pokemon was Pokemon Johto.
Yeah.
I was super into Pokemon Johto, but after the movies started going off the rails and there's so much to follow, and then the game after game after game all has their own universes.
Yeah.
I kind of got off the Pokemon bandwagon. But I've always stood close to the core show. Like the original show, the original monsters, I always have a place in my heart. Mm-hmm. I think there's only like 150 something monsters originally.
Yeah.
Whereas now, if you go take a look at it, it's ridiculous amount now.
What, over 1,000 at this point?
Yeah. There's so many designs, so much. Some of them just look bad. I don't like all the designs. I think I saw the monkey with the hand on his tail. I'm forgetting its name.
That little purple dude.
Yeah, I hated that. I hate that Pokemon so much. So like, once I started seeing that they didn't look like they had any more inspiration in their designs, like I no longer wanted to follow it anymore.
Mm.
Yeah. So I feel what you're saying. It is inflated at this point.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, the core Pokemon, the original Pokemon, is iconic, above iconic. Pikachu to this day is like, you put Pikachu in a movie and people can recognize it instantly.
Yeah.
So Pokemon's an absolute classic. So that's number 4. Number 3, before Adrian ruined it, Teen Titans.
Let's go.
And I prefer Teen Titans over Justice League because I think it perfected the animation style of like making it look like a kid's show, but the tone was still serious.
Yeah.
It's a very boundary pushing show, in the sense that like when I hear the term like, oh yeah, that it's a cartoon, so it's just for kids. You've never seen Teen Titans then. Like Teen Titans is just a cartoon, but the themes they explore around like insecurities of children, not just children, but that teenager age when you're trying to figure yourself out like in the world. You're trying to figure out what type of man you want to be, what type of woman you want to be. You have your love interests, your little crushes and things like that. And the way they literally affect your life to drive you to do different things. I think the Beast Boy and Terra, their little entanglement that they had was that's like peak writing for DC and in general. That's one of the best like love storylines they've made. Starfire and Robin together. Like you can just that aspect of Teen Titans is so awesome, and it's easy to get invested in these couples. But then you get away from that and you look at like Slade.
Yeah.
Slade is so fire.
The episode was such a trippy episode with after I think just where Robin is like, with the mask. He's like still freaking out. Like that was such a trippy episode for me.
Then Robin like takes off the mask and it's him looking at himself. Yeah, that's such an awesome episode. And getting into like Cyborg dealing with the fact that he's like basically what's the right word to put? He's handicapped to a sense, but he's above enhanced because of that handicap. But like how he deals with it, me having spinal bifida and stuff, I really like related with Cyborg and his humanity being affected by his deficiencies, and the struggle he has with it through his whole time. And one of my favorite episodes is when he pushes beyond his limits.
Remember that? Yeah, that was awesome.
See, like I can remember so many things from the cartoon, just episode to episode, that were really impactful. And that's why that's in my top 5. Because I haven't seen an episode of Teen Titans in years. Haven't sat down to watch it. But just the theme song by itself, I can remember in my head. Just the cuts, the way everything is.
Yeah.
It's a show that deserved a better ending. They flubbed the ending really badly.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody wanted it to end.
No one wants to.
I think everybody wanted that like 20 seasons of that show. So like it's It's that is a very, very great show. And if you I feel like I can show my nephew and all my nephews that show one day, and they'll love it. They'll absolutely love it.
Yeah.
But I never know with kids. Maybe they like weird stuff now. But Teen Titans, I feel like is gonna be as far as amongst my generation, it's gonna be eternal. We're always gonna love that. As long as there's boomers like us, us 60-year-olds around, we're always gonna love Teen Titans.
Teen Titans for me is like, it feels closest to losing a member of your family, because you wish it was still around.
Yes.
I miss like the feeling of watching this show, but it's not coming back.
Oh yeah, it's gone. No. And they made sure it's the dead with Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
They made sure they killed it.
Yeah.
And I hated Teen Titans Go for a long time until I got it's funny. It's pretty funny. They have funny moments. But
I just miss those characters.
they spit on that show so much with Teen Titans Go, man. They did their best to ruin it. I do miss the
grittiness and the real.
how real it feels. Yes.
Remember the episode of Starfire going to the future and seeing how all the characters turn out because she's gone?
Yeah.
That was so crazy, man.
Yeah, it's endless the amount of classic episodes they have on that show. Trigon, when they Raven's going crazy and they have to go inside her mind.
Yeah.
And then meet Trigon. Like, oh man, it's so many. Like, yeah, it's. If you haven't seen Teen Titans, if you're a child watching this, go watch Teen Titans, please. You'll love it. If you're an adult who just missed out, go watch Teen Titans. You'll still like it. It's a great show. Excellent writing, excellent dialogue, excellent jokes, excellent comedy, excellent animation. It's literally I don't see many flaws in it. Mm-hmm. And besides the way, maybe it's the storyline, maybe the storyline's the flaw. And you can point at that, but I guarantee you, if you watch it through, you're going to be like Adrian, wishing it was still around.
I don't think it's flawed entirely. I remember it's more like a lot of the episodes didn't matter. Like, it was like, it had like it was like, there's no plot line throughout each episode. It was more like, a little measure here, and maybe some story here. It was that kind of show.
Yeah, and by the end, they're trying to bring the plot. I think that's what benefited it, is that you can watch one episode and they wrap it up in the span of the episode.
Yeah,
and that's good writing, in my opinion.
Yeah,
like you have a storyline, you have a conflict, resolution, ending. Like perfect.
The show would have been so much better, like just cooler, if they had like the story going out throughout each episode. You know what I mean? But like with these same characters. But yeah,
I think that's the issue they ran into, is by the end of it, they tried to bring characters back, tried to wrap it up, the Hive and stuff. Yeah. They tried to bring all the villains back, tried to make it fit, and then somewhere Slade gets lost in it. Slade should have been them defeating him should have been the end of it.
Yeah.
But that's not. The episode gets caught up in Terra, gets caught up in so much stuff happening. And that's why I say the ending's probably the only issue. But you guys can go watch it. I haven't spoiled anything. If you watch it, you'll see how good the show is. But yeah, that's my number 3 show. Number 2, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Why is this number 2 and why is it so high on my list? It is hilarious to this day. It is funny. Just thinking of Billy's voice makes me laugh. The homie Victor, lead singer of Cooley Uli. This guy has one of the best Billy impersonations I've ever heard in my life. Oh my gosh, he's so good with it. I can't even do it justice to even repeat the voice. Have you ever seen The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy?
I didn't watch it, but I've seen like clips and all that stuff, so I know about the show.
Dude, it's hilarious. Funny, It's absolutely hilarious, and I think that type of humor really like resonates with me even more now that I'm this old, and now that I see shows where like they're claiming to be comedies, cartoon shows like Velma, they're claiming to be comedies, but I'll sit there for like the whole episode and not laugh. Santa Inc. There's all these animated shows that just like they don't have any like driving charm to it. Yeah. Charm's a great word, because like how charming Billy and Mandy is that even though it's such a dark show, talking about like demonic stuff, talking about hell, the Grim Reaper is their companion, their sidekick is the Grim Reaper. And even how Mandy tricks the Grim Reaper into becoming like her sidekick is awesome. It's all so funny. And even the overarching theme of outsmarting death
Yeah.
is within every episode. And it's hard for me to call the show intelligent at all because the best parts of it are not intelligent.
Yeah.
The best parts of it are not the continuity and the writing. The best part of it is the jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And even the animation style is kooky, but like that's where the charm comes in, as Adrian pointed out. That's where it doesn't have to be as a better animated style than Teen Titans or Batman the animated series. It doesn't have to have that level of groundbreaking animation, but because the humor is off the rails funny, it's amazing. The final episode that I believe got the show canceled was they find out that Billy's dad has a Mexican brother who's a luchador, and they go to the lost temple of Chipotle.
That's funny.
That's really what that is really what the last episode is about. Wow. And while I was watching it, I was like, this is really racist. It's unbelievable how racist that last episode is, but funny. Again, even that last episode is hilarious. And there's nothing about the last episode that connects to the rest of the episodes. So it's another one where Cartoon Network was really peak when they were doing shows that were like one-off storyline. And they could get it wrapped up in the span of an episode. That's really good writing. And Cartoon Network was super good with all the shows doing that at one point. Shows just drag on too long. I think that's my issue with anime sometimes is they get too involved in me having to watch episode 2 in order to understand episode 2 of season 6. Like, it's like, bro, you want me to remember all that? Like, like I'm invested, but not that invested, you know? So anime kind of demands that you be a hardcore fan and you know everything. Whereas a show like Billy and Mandy, you could just watch it for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You could just watch a small clip of it, and it'll make you roll on the floor for real.
Yeah.
It'll make you lose it. I can't even think of my favorite jokes from Billy and Mandy because there's just so many. There's the Dragon Ball Z knockoff that they do, where it's Billy and Mandy fighting. It looks like the tournament. It's amazing. I love that whole thing. There's man, that I can't do it justice. If I could do Billy's voice, I would do Billy's voice for you guys.
Try it. I'm doing it now.
I can't.
That'd be funny.
Hey, Green. I can't do it.
That was actually pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I can't do it. It's not. I don't even think it's close.
Okay.
Personally,
that was good.
But Billy is too dumb to be alive, honestly. And it's just funny how like he almost destroys the world. This idiot almost destroys the world like every episode. So I encourage you guys to go check it out. Billy and Mandy, easily my number 2, just because it's what a cartoon should be: funny, entertaining, and not, it doesn't have to be too crazy.
And racist. I'm kidding.
It's
what's your number 1? What's your number 1?
That's a good point. I did consider the racism being part of it. My number 1 is affected hugely by recency bias, but it's because this is literally like just peak writing, peak animation, peak everything. X-Men 97. Okay. It's not just X-Men the animated series from the 90s, which is top notch still. Excellent show. But X-Men 97 that came out last year is easily my favorite cartoon ever. First of all, I love X-Men. So like the X-Men animated series from the 90s was going to be my number 1. But the X-Men 97 series that just came out on Disney Plus. There's not a lot of reasons to get Disney Plus, but if there's one I could tell you, it's X-Men 97. The way that they've done the characters justice, and even more in this terrible time where good writing is at a premium. There's not a lot of good writers right now in cartoons, movies. Writing is very poor at this state. The people who created X-Men 97, man, you guys did such an excellent job. And I think in a earlier episode with Nick Medina and I, we showed so much love to X-Men 97 because we were caught up in it. We're stuck in how good it was week to week. My whole household, all the homies in there, we'd literally like come together just to talk about the show and how good it was. And it delivered. Every episode delivers. Every episode has its own reason why it's amazing. And the type of voice acting you can get from a cartoon is ridiculous, man. Like, I mean, I guess all voice acting is for cartoons or something like that, but the level that they took it to in X-Men 97, like Magneto's voice acting is brilliant. I don't even like Cyclops like that as a superhero, but he is so good in X-Men 97. The way they Wolverine is awesome again. I don't know how many times you can keep making that character awesome. Yeah. But X-Men 97 has another great version of Wolverine. Mm-hmm. And they took a lot of the best things from the 90s show and put it into this. But the way they've moved it forward, the way that it speaks on modern, I think part of what ruins modern TV and modern entertainment is them wanting to insert some sort of narrative politically, insert some sort of narrative with diversity. You know, they force it in there.
Yeah.
X-Men is so robust and has so many characters and has so many rivalries going on and storylines that you don't have to fit it in anywhere. You don't have to fit trans rights into X-Men 97 because the issues that mutants are going through against humans already speak on that. Already speak on racism. Already speak on political issues as far as our governments being tyrannical towards the people. For instance, like the ICE situation going on.
Discrimination, yeah.
The major discrimination, you know, and the institutional discrimination. A lot of what we see play out in X-Men 97, it can easily be bridged to what we see playing out before our eyes politically in the world right now. You know, and so it's so easy to grasp these characters and to make them like your models for heroics, to make them someone you believe in as far as like their character. You know, like Cyclops is such a good representation of leadership. Then there's like challenging things when Professor X chooses to leave all the X-Men behind and you find out he's alive, and it's like, what do you mean you left Earth? We needed you. And maybe Magneto was right. You know, all these questions start to spring up as you're watching the series. So where Billy and Mandy is kind of just the comedy and good for like just a few laughs, X-Men 97 is a show that's going to get you stuck in like the world. It gets you fully immersed and caring about these characters that are like 50 years old. You know, you hear these days like, oh, people want something new. People want this. People want that. X-Men 97 gives you something new, but with classic characters that are already loved for years. It's the perfect mix of everything that you want, that writers are looking for. Writers are looking for the spicy topics that can be inserted into their dialogue, you know? And X-Men 97 presents those in a powerful way. The score, the music in it is incredible. The animation is literally the reason. In 2025 we shouldn't have any bad animation, right?
I don't think so.
There should be no such thing as bad animation.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's like we're so advanced in technology. Like, how can you have bad animation?
Yeah.
Bad CGI.
I think that goes for any media. Like, you should not at certain levels of, you know, having a budget, you know, having just dummy money, you should not have a bad story. You should not have a bad animation. You should not have bad writing. That's what I believe in. So like when anything bad at that level production comes out, I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? Come on.
Especially with Disney. If you got Disney money, you should have top notch everything.
You're just wasting money, which to me it makes me mad because then like we need that money in life. People just need that money. You're just wasting it on crap that no one's gonna watch after like a release date. You know what I mean? Like that's again as an artist, that's crazy to me.
Right, and it's X-Men 97 gets the budget of Disney, gets all the resources in the world, and delivers on it. and does everything you need so that you can have a successful show. So that's why X-Men 97 is my number one. There's some recency bias with it, but it's because it does such a great job of honoring the classic X-Men and giving me the characters I recognize from the past as well and bringing it to now. So it's a timeless it's a timeless show that as time rolls on and they do more seasons of it, it's only going to get better if they write it correctly and continue to use that budget right, as Adrian said, So that's my top 10, man. That's my top 10 cartoons. Please tell me how I did. Tell me if my opinion sucks. Let me know if it's beautiful.
I am disappointed.
That's fine.
There is one show that you didn't mention. I'm really sad you didn't mention. Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's such a good show.
I love Avatar.
It inspires my current writing and my storytelling skills so much. And whatever fantasy worlds I tend to write, that one inspires me the most.
Oh well, we got to get your top 10 then.
My top 10 animation. Okay,
you could do it.
But what do you think about Avatar though? Like what?
I absolutely love Avatar.
Okay.
I believe the Korra, Legend of Korra really ruins it for me. I don't like Korra as a character.
You don't have to count it.
They count, but it's part of the overarching.
The lore, yeah.
It's what comes with it, It's like the reason Teen Titans and Justice League Unlimited aren't the same thing to me is because they're two totally different things.
Yeah.
They're
not part of the same universe though.
They are in the same multiverse, in the
multiverse,
same,
yeah, but
the
that's
same
different.
thing with DC. But they do their own, they have their own strengths and they're not meant to be the same and similar. Whereas Avatar, I do believe that by the end of it, it tails off. So like the best things about the show in the beginning, where it's like the child friendship, where it's the when I think we talked about this a little bit with the Sonic 3 with Shadow and Maria. They have a good friendship that's perfectly fine and innocent as a friendship. Whereas like Aang and Katara coming together, it was never something I was really sold on. It was never something I never really believed they were gonna be together like that. But I get how you can fall in love with Aang. Aang is like that guy, but he never really like matured. We never get to see him as that guy in the series because he's always a kid. He never really fleshes out to become all the avatars we get to see in the past.
Yeah,
those guys are great. Like there's so many good, amazing, top-notch characters in Avatar. Avatar is definitely a series I love. However, I do have my issues with it. Whereas, like, admittably, when it came out, I never finished the series. I didn't get to the end, and it's because I've seen it. I've gotten to the end now. I've seen the whole thing now. Okay. With the Fire Lord, I love the Fire Lord. I love everything. I wish we got more of him in the series as well. Even the way Zuko gets kind of like thrown into an anti-hero place. I never liked Zuko as an anti-hero. I liked him as a full-fledged villain. I didn't think his sister was needed, even though his sister's awesome. I feel like he was like, it was great to see the Fire Lord and him. Their relationship is like the best part of what the best storyline in the Fire Nation is the whole issues with the Fire Lord and Zuko. That's like the most gripping part of the Fire Nation. So now it's like, why didn't the uncle step in? Like I have all these questions I have where I have broken it down where I love Uncle. Uncle's still a great character, but I've always been like, why didn't he fight the Fire Lord for Zuko? Like why did he just stand by? But he did save Zuko's life, because if Uncle died fighting, which I believe the Fire Lord would have demolished Uncle, then Zuko would have probably been killed right after. Because then there's nobody in his corner like defending him. I'm pretty sure Zuko was only able to live because he had his uncle, and the Fire Lord respects his brother. So like there's a huge. By the way, I'm talking about the show. You can tell I love the show. Like there's a huge family dynamic. There's a lot to love from it, and definitely like that's in my top 15. If I had to come up with like more, I think this is going to be near the top for me. However, it's just as far as for you say like it's something that drives your creativity. For me, it's not a show I look on much further beyond like the 8th episode. Episode 1 through 8 is peak for me, and I love it. I even like the Netflix series, but the Netflix series does piss me off consistently.
I haven't seen the Netflix series.
You will get mad at it, I guarantee. Because if you like The Last Airbender and you watch the live action on Netflix, it's good, but they like smash episodes together. They smash concepts together, and it's unsatisfying because you know how it really goes. You know how the writing's supposed to be. So there's a lot with Avatar where it's not perfect, you know, and I don't think it's a perfect show. And the way I can grab Teen Titans episodes and remember how I felt watching it and remember the themes of the show and the lessons, I don't really take that as much from Avatar, even as much as I take from Pokemon. I don't enjoy Avatar the way I enjoy Billy and Mandy, but I do enjoy Avatar, but I just enjoy Billy. Every time I watch Billy and Mandy, I love it. Ninja Turtles has been like,
I think
forever for me.
there's a difference in how we consume media because a lot of your choices are shows that you can grab one episode and like watch it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas the things that I enjoy mostly is like you have to spend time with these characters over the course of a whole season for you to get like really into it. Like that's how I consume media. For me, you have to spend time with these characters. I love the character growth aspect of it, of how these characters change. Like how you said like you liked how he was more of an anti-hero. Like you liked him when he was more of a villain.
Yeah,
Zuko.
rather than an anti-hero. Yeah.
Whereas with my perspective in the early episodes, I saw Zuko nothing more as a villain, and it's more bland to me. Like if he's just like a plain old stereotypical villain, it's just kind of bland. But then as the series progresses, you see more of Zuko like being vulnerable and being like a real human being, and that's what I gravitated more towards.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it more. And Azula is crazy.
She's psycho, yeah.
And for me, I relate to the characters a lot because at the time when I was young, like I could see myself as some of these characters. And with Azula, I saw my sister in her. Like that was like that's my sister right there. Like that's her. Like I saw myself as Zuko.
She was crazy, bro.
Yeah. I stand by that still. I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
Like as a kid, like I saw that. So like I gravitated toward these characters in that way. And you know, I tend to pick shows that I relate to the characters a lot. You know, with Better Call Saul, you know, I can relate to some characters. I can with The Walking Dead, you have to go through the actual series, you know, and just see all these characters.
Yeah.
So that's why I wouldn't go with like a SpongeBob kind of thing where it's like, you know, only one episode.
Right.
One episode.
And so yeah, I'd probably have SpongeBob over Avatar.
That's crazy.
But Aang does the best part of Aang is Aang does such a good job of relating to like, I was like 10, 12 when the show came out, you know, in the span of the show being new and written. I loved Aang. Aang really gave me that, like, I was tuning in every week because Aang was the best. Every time it wasn't about Aang, the show, I didn't like the show as much when they do side character stuff. When they made it about Sokka.
Sokka? Yeah.
All his side stuff I did not like. Like, I never liked Sokka.
I love Sokka.
He's the comedic relief, which he's funny. But he's funny when he's in the group. That group of them three is like peak Avatar. It's when them three are together doing an adventure. That's when they're at their best. And as I said, like, we never get to see Aang grow up in the sense that, like, watching him be the full-fledged Avatar after he's defeated the Fire Lord and everything.
Yeah.
We never get to see him in that peak mode. And I would love to see that. It's the same issue I kind of have with, like, Naruto. Whereas, like, we see it in Boruto now. We kind of see Naruto at his peak. But I would have loved to see what it looks like when they're in power, when they're in charge. When they're basically Batman, you know, like when they're at that level now.
We did see a little bit of that in Korra, but like we got like 5 minutes of it.
Yeah,
you know?
it's in Korra's a disgrace. But
I've only seen the first season of Korra. I never finished it. It never gripped me as much as I think it's a really interesting premise though. Like I like seeing like how this world developed, you know, and developed technology and all that stuff. I like seeing that. I don't know why it just never gripped me like as much as Avatar did. Again, because I was like older when Korra came out, and I was a kid when Avatar came out.
You can't have Avatar without Aang. That's one of my key things, and I think there's a lot of in Avatar: The Last Airbender. There's a lot of storylines without Aang. And again, my whole issue with Zuko.
I think I'm fine with that. The stories were still good for me. Like I didn't mind. Like you can do whatever you want with the story. You just got to make it good. So like when it's a story about Aang, without Aang, you have to develop, okay, what are these characters doing and how is it valuable to us?
Right.
That's how I see it. Yeah.
And Uncle has some of the best dialogue in the whole show. Uncle is when I watch it and I enjoy the show again, Uncle is always like what I love. I'm Unc status, because if that guy's Unc status, I'm with it. If I could be like that guy, that chill, but that powerful at the same time, like that, so reliable as he is, like Uncle's one of the best characters written. He's one of the best written characters ever. And yeah, the dynamic of even when Zuko loses him, like it's weighty. You know, I can remember that when he loses Uncle. So like, there's plenty of great things in the show. It's just I got my reasonings, but I still love Avatar. No hate towards Avatar. I'm not hating on. I can't hate it.
Okay, Avatar for me is like one or two top.
That makes sense.
All time.
But you're not alone in that.
Yeah,
Avatar's very popular show.
Yes. So
and as far as American animation, yeah, easily one of the best.
Yeah,
easily one of the best. But yeah, that's my top 10 cartoons.
I can't make a list right now, but I mentioned a few so far. Teen Titans is up there, Avatar is up there. There's a few more.
Avatar, Teen Titans, which one's higher?
Avatar. I'll take Avatar over Teen Titans.
That's crazy, dude.
But it's like a close one, because Teen Titans, while it's gritty and cool, it doesn't have as satisfactory as of an ending.
Oh yeah, that ending for
Avatar
Teen
does.
Titans is like
so
ambiguous.
If Teen Titans had like just a better build up and a better whatever, I think it could easily match, or I don't think it'll beat, but I think it'll match Avatar.
Right.
At least
Avatar like wraps up.
Yeah.
It wraps up and
I'm
gives
thankful.
you a finite ending, and it's satisfying. Avatar has a very satisfying ending. I'll say that much.
Absolutely. Those are like my top two, I guess. I don't know if much of the cartoons.
Take some time, man.
I don't know
if
what
you
the
come up with a
cartoon
top 5, let's come back to it at a later date, man.
I had at some point, man.
I'd love to know, bro. I'd love to know. Let us know if you want to hear Adrian's top 10 cartoons. If you want to know what he loves, what he watches.
I'll look into it, yeah.
But yeah, other than that, yeah, that's all I gotta do with that.
Okay. Oh, have you ever seen El Tigre?
No,
It's a newer cartoon.
No, I have not seen El Tigre.
It's kind of cool. It's the plot line is it's like a SpongeBob, but you can grab an episode and watch it. It's kind of like, okay, so it's revolved around a family of Mexican superheroes, but every generation is it's either a hero or a villain.
Oh.
So like the grandpa is a villain, the dad's a hero, and now it's focused on the son of the hero, but he's choosing whether if he wants to be a villain or a hero. But he knows the generations previously is the pattern, and so his grandpa's like, yeah, you got to be a villain, and then the dad's like, no, you got to be a hero.
Generational curses, that's tight.
And then it's a really fun series. It's it's a little Mexican boy, and it's El Tigre, so like the theme of the family, it's like they're all tigers or like kind of like cat-like people. So El Tigre has like giant claws and like he has a little cat mask, and it's super fun. One of the episodes is like they go to the underworld to like see their old family and all that stuff, and it's like, look, this is the original El Tigre, and it's like a big old guy, big old skeleton dude, and like it's basically the plot of the Book of Life. Have you seen that, the Book of Life?
No.
Where it's just skeletons. They die, and they're all skeletons. Like, I caramba, and there's like a the bull with the bulls and stuff, and he wants to play music. You haven't seen that? That's crazy. You haven't seen that?
I don't think I've seen that.
We need to get this guy in movies, but okay.
I need to get in movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
for sure,
you can look up El Tigre at some point. It's a good show, but it's still really fun. It's very memorable for me. Yeah.
Amen. Well, yeah, that's tight, man. That's cool. If I had to put a 15, I definitely have Avatar. Avatar's gonna be somewhere around 12 or something.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I think we're good. We wrapped it up earlier.
Coochie. Yeah, we wrapped it up. I don't know. You guys are just chilling with us right now at this point. How you guys doing?
Yeah, I hope you guys are good.
I think we're good for that then.
Yeah.
All right. Cutting back to the outro. We're doing now, I guess. Bye-bye.
Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in to the Common Sense Podcast. Clap it up.